Boom.
Biddly, 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 bar. Yes, yeah. Here we go. Ain't nobody down round here. You know what time it is. Get that badger in and on and over here. We had to move back to get his greatness in. The second video of the day. We did a video earlier on. It was a quick shit vid this morning about the fixtures that have come out. So do check that out after this if you've not quite caught it. Uploaded it earlier on this morning. Because obviously all the fixtures come out. So I won't bore you with all the news of that. But it did get me thinking, so if 90 points wins you the league, I've been flicking through the games. Liverpool lost 4 games last season. So, we've got a chance. If we get off to a good start, then first 5 games, 15 points. I think we coast then after that, to be honest, all the way to title. So obviously Arsenal in their first 5 games. I think we're in cruise control at that point. It's going to be a delicious thing. It's going to be a beautiful thing. Now, in all seriousness, I said it briefly in the other video, but I just think we've got to take each game as it comes, not worry about the opposition too much. If, we get a tonk to us, we get banged up by Arsenal and then, a terrible result first game of the season against Everton, 2-0 or something. We're going to have to ride it out a little bit and weather the storms that come. Obviously, we want to get off to a good start and every team is beatable in this league. And hopefully with the acquisitions that we're making, we will be strong and Farke will have a nice, good plan. But yes, the majority of the talk is in the other videos, so I won't go back over it. Keep liking, subscribing. Appreciate every which one of you. Try to get to 6,000 subscribers before the start of the Premier League season, before that Monday night at Everton home game. Bosh. Quick shit vid. So Bijol is in for a medical. It's been the longest story in world football, this, or certainly in Leeds United football at the moment. I don't know about world football. I don't think the world is watching Bijol. He's not the be-all and end-all, which somebody actually commented that as well. And I feel like I nicked it because I said it by accident the other day, saying it's not the be-all and end-all. And then I read the comment and I was like, it looks like a heist and it looks like I've stole it. But I never go too early. Somebody says, you've gone too early, mate. Romano's pulled it back. Fabrizio Romano, whatever he's called. Apparently, so he's in for the medical. So we're looking like 18, 19 million we'll pay for him. Add-ons included, all the lot. We're apparently looking at another fellow Slovenian guy, 19-year-old centre-back who's a free agent. We love a free agent. He's called Lovro Golic. He plays for Roma, or certainly did play for Roma, and his contract's coming up to a close. I think it's a good position for us to be in, really, to be getting quite a few frees in. Obviously, I think it bolsters the squad on the cheap, just getting them in for the wages. Players that have not quite done it at top clubs like Roma. I know people would probably shoot me down for saying the top club, but Roma certainly has a history of being a top club and you would imagine only a season off competing at a decent level. They've had Mourinho indoor and stuff like that. So they are of a standard. And these players really are the type of players that we can sort of pick up, particularly on a free where you just think, didn't quite do it at Roma, but can he do as a job? He's only 19. He's probably got a long way to go in his career. Might be the case where we can actually get some money from him a bit further down the line. There's Hoffenheim interested in him, Leeds are interested in him. So, Leeds being keen on the youngster is also a good place to be. I kind of like the thought of just bringing in, I don't want to use Helder as an example because that didn't really work. But when we brought Helder in, it's like, I don't think these players are going to rip the league up necessarily. But, sometimes a few bodies in just freshens things up in general as well, doesn't it? So a young lad that really wants to crack on and do well, even if he doesn't necessarily get much game time. I just think it adds to the, to the training sessions, and we sort of, even if he ends up playing in under 21s, just see what we're getting really. Apparently West Ham are looking for a replacement for Soucek. So the title will say that he's been frozen out, which is, we don't do clickbait over here, but if we did, that's what we'd put in the title. Who I've said for a while would be a decent signing for us. Apparently, us and West Ham are both monitoring somebody called Rafael Onyedika, who is a 24-year-old Nigerian. He's worth around 25 million, which is a lot of money, a lot of football, a lot of money. He plays for Club Brugge. Got a lot of games under his belt for them, to be fair. Predominantly sits in the 6 in like the defensive midfield role, but can play centre-back and has done over his career, so it might be quite useful. 25 million for me is about as much as I want to pay for any individual player. There's been some talk about centre forwards today, and apparently we've been sat down for talks quite a bit with players, and players getting potentially bids of up to like 40 million, 30 million and stuff. I just think it's a little bit too rich for me, that in general. I want to try and get players in for around the 20 million mark, just because I think it relieves the pressure off players. And unless you're bringing in a Rafinha, that we didn't spend that on anyway, but unless we're bringing that in, I just think it's too much. I don't want to go down the Rodrigo line again, where we get this big name player in the Spanish number 9, unless he is literally the Spanish number 9, and he's going to come and rip it up. I don't want to end up in a scenario where we jizz a lot of the money in the bucket, jizz a lot of the sauce from in the bucket. I don't want to just tip it out. I want to utilize it, spray it about as much as physically possible when we're juicing. So that's what I would like to do. But yeah, big defensive midfielder, apparently a bit of a general. So 24-year-old Nigerian, big strong lad. As I say, got plenty of games under his belt. There has been loads of talk about number 9s. I'm not going to go over it all because it's like a broken record, isn't it? With the the number 9s and the players coming in, potential bids, etc. going on. There's also some reports now today that, we will be leading with Peru Parisli in the number 9, which I don't know where that's come from, because when we signed Nemecha the other day, it was very much said all throughout the media that this is an addition and we will be looking in the market for another number 9. So I'm not really sure where this shit comes from. I think, as much as I just go along with what the articles are, the shit that I'm reading, shit is as shit does. And I'm glad they make stuff up for me to waffle on about. But I don't know where that's come from. But I wouldn't be adverse to that either, truth be told. I think we need some different options, like Nemecha, who maybe can run the channels a bit more, big, strong lad. And then we do have a poacher in Peru Parisli, don't we? So I do think there's plenty of worth there. Birmingham apparently interested in Joseph, and they could be making a move for him. Apparently Leeds have put him out to say we will accept £8.5 million for him, which sends everybody into oblivion, I understand, because Joseph can't be sold for that money, just in case in 4 years he becomes good. We have to think of the here and now, don't we? It's 100% profit, getting him off the books. Not that he'll be on a particular wage, but if he's not in Farke's plans or in the 49ers plans long term, or in Parag's plans, which is the main thing, as we all know, we're gonna be offloading players that just aren't ready right now. If they become good on them, well done, fantastic, smooth, great. But could also be a loan deal. Apparently more keen on a move to Real Betis, which I personally think would be a better move for him. I think I'm not overly familiar in whether he gets anywhere near their side or not, but I don't think he wants to drop down to a team like Birmingham. With the greatest respect, might not do a great deal next year, and I think the next couple of years are really quite important. Even if he's on the bench for Real Betis, I think it puts him in a slightly better environment, to be perfectly honest. But ultimately, at some point, the lad has to start playing some minutes, or he's going to get thrown away in the ether, Geldart style and Greenwood style and stuff, and they have to drop down in standard significantly. So maybe that is just what he does. But yeah, what's your thoughts on all that woof talk? I don't really even know what I've spoke about. Be good to get Bijol in, be all and end all before end of week, just to keep everybody appeased, and we keep moving, keep grooving, keep flipping, keep flapping, keep slapping, keep clapping. Happy clappers, you love them. Subscribe, like, appreciate every which one here. Underlap tomorrow, 8 p.m. Peace.
Boom.